everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time we're reviewing on the 2005 film Zathura. Now, Zathura is meant to be a 2005 science fiction adventure film that was directed by Jon Favreau, who also did the film Elf, as well as playing in Daredevil and the Iron Man films. And of course, much like Jumanji, Zathura was a 2002 children's book created by the same author, Chris Van Ellsworth, as well as being a spin-off and the second installment in the Jumanji series. Now, growing up as a kid, I always avoided Zathura as I saw it as a carbon copy of Jumanji. But now, watching it later, years later, I would say it's pretty good, and even though it is almost the same as Jumanji, there is a difference. So the premise of the film is meant to feature two brothers, Walter and Danny, who do not get along and are constantly at each other's throats. We see how the dad has to try and leave them at home to sort things out at work. And we kind of see how Danny and Walter end up finding a game, Zathura, and much like the film Jumanji, end up playing the game, and in doing so, ends up with them stuck in the middle of space, and dealing with things from robots, meteor shower, reptile, aliens, and so on. And over the course of the film, we do see how at first Danny and Walter are at each other's throats, but over time learn to become better siblings. And I would say there's a difference between Walter and Danny. I think Walter kind of pushes Danny away and doesn't really give him a fair chance. We kind of see how Danny does try to open up to Walter and does try to, be the kind of brother-like character, but of course end up getting at each other's throats. We kind of do see how the sister Lisa is in the sidelines. I kind of felt could have worked a bit more, but they did put her in the sidelines. And I think what's interesting, it's heavily implied that Zathura is meant to be a space and alternative counterpart to Jumanji, much like the Earth Dragon Balls and the Namekian Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball Z, meaning, much like the Namekian Dragon Balls, Zathura is meant to be a more space sort of otherworldly counterpart from Jumanji. And I would say the film does follow some elements. Like, you can kind of tell when you've got the astronaut, you can kind of tell it's meant to be a counterpart to Alan. And I kind of feel much like Alan, you can kind of tell the astronaut does try to play the supporting role, but isn't hammered down completely. And keep in mind that since the Jumanji film series has come back with other films like Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji The Next Level, I actually do think Zathura does deserve a shot in getting another go, as I would like to see a team of Star Wars or space fans ending up playing a kind of PS4 game, ending up in the world of Zathura, where they have to rescue the princess of Zathura from the alien warlords. I think it has potential to have a good idea for another story. I think, keep in mind, this was back in 2005. I know Jumanji would still have been in its cult status, but I think Zathura does deserve another shot in getting another adaptation done. Because, again, what I like about the board game, it kind of has that 1950s nostalgic background on the cover. You got the game that feels like a 1950s or 60s stuff, back when the 50s were more of a starting point to space travel and so on. And I think, to me, Zathura is an enjoyable movie. If you're a fan of Jumanji, then you want to definitely go to space with this one. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.